Wow. I cannot believe what I just watched. That was the most hilarious, but also boring baseball game. It was hilarious up until the seventh inning, and then things got boring, and it was like, all right, we got pitch com issues, we got pitch clock issues, we got bullpen issues, we got high pitch counts, high at bat counts, and it was like, come on, let's get the game over with. The game got a little boring and got a little dragged out towards the end, but oh my God, the Yankees are somehow possibly worse than the Mets, and it is freaking hilarious how bad both these teams are to begin with, because this is some funny baseball to watch. I will say, watching both these teams just go out there and have a mid off is quite literally the funniest thing to ever happen. I I seriously cannot even believe what I just watched. But before we jump into it, well, first of all, Mets win 9-3 over the New York Yankees in the 100th game here of the season, and yeah, at least we're not going to lose the season series against the Yankees. Somewhat positive of the season, I guess, because that's really our World Series, right? Is beating the Yankees at the end of the day, because we don't do anything else. So, yeah. Anyway, leave a like on the video if you do enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Met fans, and turn on your notifications so you know when we upload or go live next on the channel. But again, what a hilarious game of baseball to watch, and also infuriating. Don't get me wrong, I was pulling my hair out at points of this game. I was ready to rage because the Mets are not a good baseball team by any stretch of the imagination. The Yankees just suck that much that it was an interesting game. Brandon Nimmo hit a leadoff double, and then back-to-back groundouts from Lindor, McNeil, and I'm like, all right, yep, wasting a leadoff double because that's what the Mets do best. But thankfully, Pete Alonso hits a single to left, and that makes it a 1-0 ball game as Nimmo comes in the score. Daniel Vogelback that strikes out. But all right, the Mets scored a first inning run. Can you believe it? For the first time in forever? I don't even know when, since dinosaurs were last roaming the planet. But bottom of the first, Bauer strikes out to lead off the inning. Gleyber Torres then flies out. Giancarlo Stanton walks, and then Anthony Rizzo strikes out. That's the end of the inning. So a nice little inning for Justin Verlander. But then Germán would have a good second inning as he strikes out the entire side. We go to the bottom of the second. DJ LeMahieu walks. Harrison Bader then hits into a double play. And then Billy McKinney hits himself a single to right. Anthony Volpe then hits into a force out. That's the end of the inning. And then the third inning, the Mets got to Germán as Stewart grounds out. Nimmo strikes out, but with two outs. Lindor, McNeil, and Alonso, oh my God, they were the Golden State Warriors. They're the Golden State Warriors against the Yankees, it feels like, because you don't show up all year, and this is the game you show up to. I mean, I don't know if it's something about taking pride in beating the Yankees or what, but Lindor hits a double to lead things off to left, and then Jeff McNeil ends up walking. Lindor ends up getting a stolen base as well. And then Pete Alonso hits himself a home run over to left field to make it a 4-0 ball game. So, again, these guys showed up. Which we'll talk about, and you could clearly see here on the box score. But bottom of the third, Higashioka flies out. Bowers lines out. Torres hits a single, and then Stanton grounds out. Top of the fourth, the Mets go down in order. Bottom of the fourth, Rizzo hits it to a pop out. LeMahieu walks. Harrison Bader strikes out. McKinney strikes out. Verlander looking good there. Top of the fifth, Stewart gets a leadoff double. And what do the Mets do? Not score on said leadoff double, because why would they ever do that, right? Yeah, I for whatever reason, they just couldn't capitalize off leadoff doubles except for in the first inning, it feels like. But bottom of the fifth, Volpe gets on thanks to an error by Brett Baty, because why use two hands to field the baseball, and why actually take your time to field the baseball when you could just boot it? I love Brett Baty with a passion, but that was just a bad luck. Then, thankfully, Verlander gets back-to-back strikeouts on Higashioka as well as Bowers. Volpe, though, would steal second, but Torres hits it to a pop-out. That's the end of the inning. And then, the top of the sixth, Pete Alonso does it again. Hits himself another home run, this time to center to make it a 5-0 ball game. And then Danny Burgers hits himself one to right to make it a 6-0 ball game. So all of a sudden, the Mets have life. And then the Mets go down the rest of the way in order, as you have two strikeouts there from Alvarez and Beatty, and then Canna grounds out. Bottom of the sixth, Stanton grounds out. Rizzo hits it to a flyout. And then LeMahieu walks for the 500th time in this baseball game. And then Harrison Bader hits it to a flyout. We go to the 7th where Nick Ramirez comes in to pitch. DJ Stewart flies out. Brandon Nimmo strikes out. And for whatever reason, the Mets elect to play better baseball whenever they have 2 outs, as Lindor gets himself a single, and then which Lindor ends up going the second on because of the fact that Anthony Volpe had a terrible throw there. And then Jeff McNeil hits himself an RBI single to make it a 7-0 ball game. Pete Alonso would line out, though, and that's the end of the inning. Brooks Raley would come in after Verlander pitches a very good game, which we'll talk about after. IKF comes up the pitch hit. He gets hit by the pitch. And then Anthony Volpe hits a double to right. And that makes it a 7-1 ball game because, yeah, why would we make things easy? And I tweeted it, and it's just so true. Like, Brooks Raley has good numbers this year, but why is it that he pisses me off every time he's in the game? It's just every time he either allows a run or just a walk or a hit. Like, even though his ERA is good, the guy gives up so many hits, so many walks, and it's just it's so frustrating to watch the guy pitch sometimes. But Higashioka then walks. Speaking of a walk, Bowers then pops out, and then the inning got way too chaotic. Dominic Leone comes in the pitch. You knew that was a disaster as he walks Gleyber Torres on 4 pitches, and then Giancarlo Stanton hits into a sacrifice fly. That makes it a 7-2 game, but thankfully, Leone strikes out Rizzo. That ends the inning. IKF stays in the game to play left field. Mark Vientos comes up to pitch hit, and what does he do? Hits one down the left field line for a double. Mark Vientos, my guy, Mark Vientos, gets a double there. And then, unfortunately, the Mets do nothing because, again, why capitalize on a leadoff double, right? Bottom of the 8th. I'm so torn on what to say about Buck with this game. He brings Grant Hartwig in the pitch. You would think he'd go Ottavino and then Robertson and just end the game without any chaos, right? But thankfully, then things ended up going in his favor this game. So it's like, I don't know what to say. As LeMahieu grounds out, Bader hits into a single, and then IKF gets a single. Volpe walks, and then Ben Rordvet comes up to pitch hit, and then David Robertson has to come into the ball game. He gets him to hit into a force out, but that also brought in a run, so that makes it 7-3. Jake Bowers grounds out, so thankfully Robertson gets out. But again, this could have been bad because the Mets just worked Ron Marinaccio, who came in the pitch in the 9th. They worked his pitch count up so high where if the Mets did not score in this run, it could have been a disaster if they had to bring Robertson back in. And why do I say it could have been a disaster? 1, because he was sitting in the dugout for so long. 2, you want Robertson to be able to be available for tomorrow's game. And I thought it was the right decision to bring Robertson in that bases loaded jam. But it sucks that you're in the spot with this bullpen where they are so bad. I also was confused with Grant Hartwig coming in the game to begin with, because why are we going to Grant Hartwig when we're going to need 2 innings from him tomorrow probably, because Jose Quintana is inevitably going to get 5-6 innings at most. So I didn't understand the logic there, but instead we'll get to watch Drew Smith pitch a couple innings, which you know how I feel about him. But DJ Stewart strikes out, Nimmo walks. Lindor then gets a single, and thankfully they're able to, or Nimmo's able to advance because Harrison Bader just was having an interesting day in the outfield, as he also got pissed at, what's his name in right field, Bowers, who interfered with him trying to catch the ball. Lindor then ends up stealing second, and then Jeff McNeil gets an RBI double down the right field line to make it a 9-3 ball game. Albert Abreu has to come in the pitch. He walks Alonso, and then this pissed me off. Hits Mark Vientos in the hand, and then Alvarez gets hit in the hand. He ended up swinging, so it was a strikeout. But if Francisco Alvarez has anything bad happen, he has to miss time, I'm going to lose my mind because of that. Just losers, such losers on the other side there with the Yankees. But I digress. Brett Beatty ends up grounding out. We go to the 9th inning where thankfully Ottavino was able to come in to pitch. And then the Mets just made a bunch of defensive changes, including Narvaez coming in, Mendick coming in, just to get some guys off of their feet. And thankfully an easy inning as Torres flies out. Stanton walks, which you expect because you want to pitch around that guy. Rizzo flies out. Stanton advances to second on a defensive indifference, but then LeMahieu strikes out. That's your ball game. Your winning pitcher is Justin Verlander. Your losing pitcher is Domingo Germán. I do want to check if there is an update about Francisco Alvarez here. If yeah, he's getting X-rays on his hand, and there's concern on Alvarez. I hate the Yankees. I freaking hate them. We can't win in peace here. We cannot win in peace, as now Alvarez might miss time for all we know. So isn't that wonderful? Anyway. So yeah, now I'm nervous. Let's talk about the pitching now. Justin Verlander was great. Outside of him walking DJ LeMahieu 3 times, 4 walks, gross. Again, 3 of them to LeMahieu, which is absurd. 6 strikeouts and only allowing 2 hits, no earned runs. Very good outing from Justin Verlander. I've been very pleased with him lately, and good. Boost the trade value potentially, and maybe we could send you to a contender potentially, and we could get some prospects. That would be very nice, wouldn't it? Brooks Raley, yikes. Dominic Leone, yikes. Grant Hartwig, yikes, I should say. Robertson, nice. Ottavino, nice. So, you had some decent pitching, but 8 walks as a pitching staff, not great. 5 hits, though, allowed. Not too bad. So, I'm not overly upset. I mean, the Yankees had 2 errors. Wow. And the Mets had 1. But, yeah, I'm not overly upset about the pitching, but I also am, because this bullpen's a disaster and they piss me off. It is what it is. But when it comes to the lineup, 4 for 14 with runners in scoring position should not get lost in the shuffle. The Mets' bottom part of the order was absolutely abysmal and unacceptable. Alvarez, for whatever reason, does not perform when the rest of the lineup does. He went 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts. Concerned about him, and I hope he's healthy, but oh my God, can you please produce when the rest of the lineup does? Beatty went 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts. Canna went 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Just unacceptable production from the bottom part of your lineup. Stewart went 1 for 4 at least, but still, you need more production. But the top of the lineup, where has this been all year? Nimmo 1 for 4 with a walk, 2 strikeouts. Not the best, but still good. But then you get to Lindor, who went 3 for 5. Very, very good day at the office for him. Jeff McNeil, 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Very good day. And how about Pete Alonso, who's definitely the player of the game if it's not Justin Verlander, who went 3 for 4 with 5 RBIs in this one and a walk too. Very good game from Pete Alonso. And yeah, I'm definitely pleased, despite the fact that, you know, I'm now worried about Alvarez and I freaking cannot stand the Yankees. Can't. But now the Mets go to play now they're playing the Yankees again. Quintana versus Rodon, 2 lefties. A guy that the Yankees fans hate right now, and a guy that Met fans are still questioning what he is. So this should be an interesting one, and it's going to be probably a high-scoring game tomorrow. So probably looking at the over on that one if anyone's interested in that one. But yeah, not moved. I still am not really convinced that the Mets are a good baseball team. Yeah, like I said, this doesn't move me. This win does not change how I feel about the team. The Mets are just still not that great of a they're not a good baseball team. They're not. The Yankees are just bad also. Sorry, Yankee fans, but you guys know it. Like, come on. Come on. You guys know that you're not good this year. No offense, but you know you're not good. Because I know a lot of good Yankee fans. I'm not trying to upset Yankee fans. I'm just stating a fact that they are not a good baseball team, especially based on what I watched tonight at the very least. But who knows? That's going to be it for me. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live next. And I'll see you guys in the next one.